Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rose Writes and I write and narrate Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction. We did it! We hit 3,000 subs! Thank you so much to everyone who supports my channel! The art in my thumbnail is by Cat Saturn on Instagram. She will be linked below, so go show her some love. As requested, here is my new mini-series, Love Story, based on the song by Taylor Swift. Part 1. You are cordially invited to the wedding uniting Adrienette and Kagami Tsurugi. Marinette read and reread the invite over and over again. She so often dreamed what it would be like to be part of that world. The lights, the parties, the ball gowns. In her trance, she felt the letter getting snatched from her hands, almost ripping it in half. Dupen Chang, you would do well to keep your filthy pauper hands off of my letters. This one is particularly precious. It's from the king inviting me to the ball. Marinette narrowed her eyes. Chloe Bourgeois. How long had Marinette lived here, suffering this humiliation? 10 years? The years blended together into one whirlpool of servitude. Is this what her parents would have wanted? Marinette's parents passed away when she was only 8 years old, due to a terrible baking accident, resulting in the destruction of their cabin. Marinette had been playing outside when the flames engulfed the place she once called home. The bourgeois decided to take her in, not to be kind, but more as a charity case exploiting her trauma for their own personal gain. Mr. Bourgeois was nice enough, but his daughter? If evil had a name, it'd be called Chloe. Chloe crossed her arms, staring at Marinette condescendingly. Well, anything you would like to say? Sorry, Marinette mumbled. That's what I thought. Chloe smirked as she twirled through the garden, likely dreaming of which of her ball gowns she would wear to the party. Marinette took advantage of this moment to slip away unbeknownst to the bratty bourgeois. Marinette tiptoed through the hedges that lined the mansion, and came to a small cabin standing in the woods. It was lined with vines that crept up and down the wooden walls. A hammock outside tied to 2 sturdy oak trees, perfect for lounging in this kind of weather. She closed her eyes and the flashback starts. She was young when she first saw him, a blonde boy that held her heart. All of the time spent playing pretend and sharing secrets. Even with all of this time, she knew that his destiny was not intertwined with hers. He had to marry a princess, and that was everything she wasn't. Her fingers traced along an abandoned picnic table, where they shared many secret meals and laughter. She sat, taking in her surroundings, silent tears falling on her arms as she rested her head. Marinette whipped around to the sound of leaves crunching under heavy boots and footsteps growing closer. Who's there? Emerging through trees, his handsome face no longer obscured, was Adrien. Prince Adrien. Usually her face would beam at the sight of him, but today nothing could comfort her. "Milady?" The prince gave a slight bow that Marinette didn't return. She simply stared at him with tear-stained pink cheeks. "I can't be your lady anymore. You're engaged." Saying it out loud made her heart ache and yearn for the simpler days. Days when it was just them and their sanctuary away from the world. "So, you've heard. Marinette, I wanted to tell you myself." Marinette held up a hand, stopping his apology short. "Please, Adrien, you have nothing to apologize for. We always knew this day was coming. You're to become king with Kagami by your side." "Except I don't love her!" he exclaimed. He turned away from Marinette, regretting the words that came tumbling out. "This love is difficult." Marinette smiled, stroking his perfect hair, messing it up ever so slightly. "I love you. That's all I really know. Adrienne turned slowly, peering down at her, sending a shiver down her spine, her knees feeling weak. Was this all in her head? She didn't know what to think. He watched her expression change from shock to excitement, before settling on a tinge of sadness. You know I can't say it back. I know that you want to. He leaned into her, only for Marinette to back away, catching him off guard. I better go. Almost as if right on cue, Marinette heard a call from a distance. Marinette, where are you? I need you to draw me a bath for the ball tonight. Chloe hurled some insults directed at Marinette that she couldn't quite make out, as the nightmare bourgeois seemingly strode off in a different direction. I'll be waiting. All there's left to do is run, Adrienne said, before Marinette took off. She turned back to him sadly, taking both of his hands in hers. Adrienne, you can't say that. We all have our destinies and ours. We can't be together. You know that. Then tell me you don't love me. His eyes hardened, fixed on her, scrutinizing every part of her face. Her brows knit together in worry. She couldn't say that. She did love him. With Adrienne, things made sense. The trauma of real life faded away when they were together. But it wasn't real. Kagami was real. The ball the king was throwing was tonight, and Kagami and Adrienne would be wed tomorrow morning. Then Adrienne would forget all about her, this lowly peasant girl. Adrienne's face softened as he brought her in close. Marinette allowed him to embrace her, enjoying the last time they could be like this, because tomorrow everything would be completely different. As for right now, in this very moment, she should get back to her chores and leave this fantasy of Adrienne right here in their perfect little sanctuary. Here their love story could be filled with possibilities and what-ifs, untainted by real life. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing to my channel and stay tuned for the next part of Love Story. And as always, stay miraculous.